Greetings, fellow castaways. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of The Castaway, a RimWorld story about surviving in a nuclear wasteland, naked, with nothing but your bare hands, wits, and skills. If you'd like more information about the scenario, rules, and goals, those details can be found in the description, as well as directions about how to play this scenario for yourself. Episode 1, The Castaway. So let's jump to it. Right off the bat, I know we're going to need steel and shelter. This planet, if you're wondering, one other thing I should mention is it can get pretty hot, like 44°C or 110 Fahrenheit, which is way too hot for a naked person to survive. So that's another thing that we're going to have to contend with, you know, if we get hit by heat waves and the like. Also, the entire mod list is a collection on Steam, so you can play this for yourself, and as I said, the save game file will be shared at the conclusion of the stream. To avoid spoilers and the like, oh, there's gold in them hills, or something like that. I don't want to know that. So I'm thinking of settling in this sort of nuclear valley, is what I'll call it. Because the nuclear waste will act as a really good terrain blocker, allowing me to put turrets behind it and to kite enemies and the like. So that should be pretty good. And let's decide where we're going to settle up. I think pretty obviously one of the things that we're going to need really early on is hydroponics. So let's plan a hydroponic zone here. Do a 5x11, 9x9, and 5x11. And that is sort of the first shelter I'm planning on doing. Obviously, you don't need a full hydroponics area to accommodate the food for one person, but it's room to expand. Because Shiv here is trying to make a green place, a little nature sanctuary, and that is not a task for one person to take on alone. Alright, some of the other things that we're going to want pretty early on is power. And I'm going to plan for the power to be expanded upon as well. So I'll probably end up putting power here, like this, when this corner is mined out. And the whole southern section is mined out. So maybe I'll mine the southern section here, get those 4 instead of this 4, and then I'll have room for power. So my plan right now is to make myself 1 wooden turbine and an electric stove so I can cook, because there's no wood for me to be able to set up a campfire. No wood whatsoever. And eating raw comes with a lot of detrimental issues, so I want to avoid eating raw if I can. And while Shiv chips away at that steel node, I will adjust his work priorities and also food. And thank you all so very much for quite the hype train already. I'll acknowledge it once I'm done sort of addressing the immediate needs, because this is one of those scenarios where if you slip up but for 1 minute early on, you're just toast. Kind of like Sea Ice. This should play very similar to the Sea Ice challenge, just due to the resource scarcity and the harshness of the biome, I'd imagine. So if you're wondering about the ground here, the fertility of the stony soil is 42%, and the fertility of the ashy soil is 60%. Pretty much the minimum in order to plant anything into the ground in RimWorld is 70%, so I can't even put down a grow zone, save for a few special spots. And then these spots here, if you take a look at the fertility requirement of most plants, it's greater than 60%. So there's not much I'm going to be able to do with the soil unless I fertilize it and water it. And I do have Dub's Bad Hygiene, which allows for fertilization and watering, but that is not going to yield soon enough. But yeah, not even potatoes. Nothing can be planted in the soil at the beginning. It's a nuclear wasteland. I mean, just look at the planet. It's purple and black. It's really not fertile. All right, Shiv. There we go. Getting the initial structures set up. And then I'm going to want some components. And let's also set up a stockpile. And with the current steel that I have, I can also lay out the walls. Although I'm not necessarily going to be building them immediately. But laying out the walls to where they're going to be like that, maybe. And then we'll pick, say, here and here to place doors. Maybe out, like this. Okay. I'm going to forbid this because it's not very important immediately, but it will be in the long run, or in the short run. All right, Shiv. Keep on mining. So the other thing I'm going to do is to put a dumping stockpile here for fresh corpses. Put in a butcher spot and a crafting spot. I can't do better than a butcher spot because the butcher table requires wood. So there's no way for me to make a butcher table until I start sourcing wood, which is going to be a long time from now. Like, very, very, very long time from now. Oh, man, the activity feed. So thank you so very much to the following. Tangier, Sven, or Matt. Oh, boy. Nah, it's a full-on level 5 hype train. Marauder, T-Sang, Scorpio, Equinoxer, Shivaru, who this character's named after, X42, not the Marvelous Funko. Did you change your name? Or is you are entirely a different person than... Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Madsy, Sky Collective, Nick the Good, Glitch, Nitro, Old Memino, and thank you so very much for tuning in to this this mini-series. Also, I figured it was a really good time to mention the games for me to play in April and May. That suggestion box closes in 2 days. So if there is a specific game that you guys want me to play, go ahead and drop me a line in Discord and make it known that you want a specific game to be played. Because time is a-wasting. Do I know why the wall blueprints look like normal walls? Because that's the way the mod's designed. For Scrapper. For alpha memes. I don't control that. Alright, that looks good. It actually doesn't look the same. It looks slightly different when it's built, as you'll soon find out. But yeah, it's just that there's not a texture that's very unique for a blueprint model. Like the sort of white ghosting that you normally get. I believe that was an issue in False God as well, if memory serves. I think in False God I was using some of the walls that you could build in False God also lacked sort of texture like that. Yeah, look at where we're going. We have to go all the way out here for water. So what I'm doing now is adding a little bit of light so I can mine faster. And then I roofed up the light in case it rains, although it almost never rains on this planet. No, don't go to sleep. And then I want to actually build a bed to sleep in, because it's going to be faster for me to sleep in a bed. And then before I sleep... Oh, pour bed? Oof. I was going to steal some insect jelly from the buggies. I'll need to make a new bed, though. I don't want to sleep on a poor bed very long. Yoink. Thank you, insects. It is appreciated. So still working on basic shelter. Something else I need to do is to plan where the coolers are going to go. So I think I'm going to also plan out other things. So I'm going to eventually want to double insulate the base here. So I'm going to put down where the double insulating walls are going to go. I think over here, I'm just going to have it flush. And double insulate like that. I can remove all the plans. Well, I should have removed quite exactly what I just removed, but... Alright. Which leaves maybe right here for a cooler. This is impassable, so a cooler here is effectively in a chimney, as no melee can get by there. So it is pretty well protected. And again, it's this shape because of the grow light. And the few corners here are not overhead mountain tile, so I can remove it. All right, Shiv, you ready? You ready to go shiv some animals? I hope you are. Let's look at the wildlife. I want to take on this bull. That's right. Before Shiv gets too hungry. So I'm going to wake him up a little early. And there's also some other things I want to do. I want to build a latrine. Look at this. I think what I'll do is I'll put a, not a stall door, a real door back here. I'll put a latrine back there. So this will be my chimney latrine. And then I also want to get a... Oh, really? You already broke down? That's nasty. I also want to get a well going, so that I don't have to go too far for water. I'm turning off auto home zoning because I don't really like it. And the water table, I will show you in just a minute, as soon as I get some steel. Where are you going, Mega Scarab? Alright, so now I don't have to run too far for water. Alright, where's that bowl? Here we go. Get it! That's right. Bit the hell out of me, but I win. Shiv's living up to his name, and, well, Shivdable. You'll eat tonight, friend. Now I just have to keep the wild animals from trying to eat my kill. Oh, really? Really? My wind turbine's on fire? Game, you shouldn't have. I already had an electrical breakdown and now a zip fire, even though I don't even have batteries. Bye, wind turbine. So I guess I'm not cooking my bull anytime soon. That's cool. So, Shiv, how do you feel about mining in the middle of the night? Maybe I'll go over to the bugs and steal more jelly. Nope, got infection. So this is the fun randomness of the start, right? I'm gonna hope that there's more jelly that spawns. Really, 2 infections? Hope that there's more jelly that. Oh, yeah, there we are. Perfect. Haul that home, and then we'll have to do some self-tending. Oh, bit my head. So I probably don't have the luxury of being able to entirely sleep off my injuries. Luckily, the immunoenhancer should help out with that. But I need to get the wind turbine back up. Randy decided to be very spiteful and break my electric stove and then burn down my wind turbine. Because he's known to be a jerk. The issue is my manipulation's kind of lowered due to the sickness and injuries. So, my ability to mine is diminished. Is okay. He'll do his best. So we've got 56 over 62 and 58 over 62. Getting dehydrated with bad hygiene. At least I contended the dehydration. Where are you going with that? No, let's forbid this. In fact, let's refund the wall there so I can get the wind turbine up. All right. Now, Randy, stop trying to burn down my wind turbines. It's very, very rude. So I have the capacity to butcher and cook the cow now. And I want to wait as long as I can to try to get my manipulation as high as possible so that I get the most yield. Because the more... The healthier you are, of course, the more yield you'll get. But I'm unconscious. I can't even walk right now because of the infections. I'll survive them. They're already immune. But thanks, Randy. Double infection, stove breakdown, and a fire. Are mutant cows different from normal cows? Yes, they're mutant. Enough said. All right, I'm very hungry, so let's get cooking. No, don't eat raw. Oh, really, wind? Really? Okay. It's gonna be like that. Now the wind's too low for the stove to be on. Oh, the wind just picked back up. Good. Let's change the food restrictions here. I'm just gonna call it Shiv for now, because he's the only one. And delete all the others. And Shiv's only gonna be allowed to eat meals. Anything else I want to be forced to manually consume. That way I can control if he's eating raw, because eating raw is very inefficient, unless you're pigskin, which he is not. He is a baseliner. Alright, next step is to get the walls up, where the blueprints are. And that will fulfill the sort of like basic shelter. Is that... Actually... Yeah, okay. Just changing my mind about exactly where these are positioned. No, if it's positioned there, it can get damaged. I take that back. So getting the walls up will protect the food from getting sniped by wild animals. Which, obviously, I don't want that to happen. And thank you, Sky Collective and Sapo, for gifting out subs, as well as JT. Am I blocking the toilet now? Yeah, I am. Let me unblock that. Once I have steel. Looks like the insects have some supplies for me to collect. Will collect. And most of the Shiv's initial injuries are all healed up. Nothing too serious now. Shiv have dementia? No. Shiv has an infection. The cow had dementia, the mutant cow. And asthma, making it easier to gank. Alright, Shiv, before you go to sleep, let's go steal some jelly. They have 44 of it, and they're asleep. So, sounds good to me. Still working on that big shelter. Oh, silver ore. Nice. Silver ore in a spicy spot. Okay, all healed up. Perfect. When he wakes up, I'm going to consume the insect jelly to fulfill recreation. Although he is a little bored of food consumption, but it will still work. And then there's 22 hours left on the meats. Also, it looks like one of these fennec foxes must have picked a fight with a mega scarab, and it's about to die. So I'll eat it. Here's the mega scarab, but I don't really want insect jelly, or insect meat rather. So I'm not going to bother going over to it. That was the bullfight. Seeing if there were the iguana fought on anything. No, the iguana's still here. Okay. Still working on that basic shelter. It takes a while. So now I just need the components in order to build the cooler. Let's get them. Because it is getting hot to the point where he is going to start exhibiting heat stroke signs. Unless I get chilled. And then I'll also take the 25 plain leather and make a cowboy hat. Once I get a little bit more steel for the hand tailor. Pets for Mr. Yoda? Sure. I must have missed that. My apologies. And also, I'll unlock the Yoda cam. It's open. Glorious. Look at that. Do I want you to rest? No, not yet. I almost feel bad for Shiv. He's just like, wait, what now? There's always something more in there. It's Praxis. Thank you for the sub. So this meat will spoil in about 10 hours. I need to cook it before it does. Hey, bud. Do shade cones fit the theme? Sure, I could do a shade cone. Why not? If I could find it. I'm really bad at finding... There it is. If you're wondering the difference between the two, a shade cone has a 116 or a 16.2, which is the same as a cowboy hat, so it makes no difference at all. But knowing how much sun there is on this little planet, shade cone does make sense. Let's cook before the food spoils, so I'm just going to cook it all off. Cooking in the dark. And 8 of it will spoil because I don't have another extra to make sure it doesn't. Alright, next priority is set up running water. That is the next goal. Can we cook the 8 meat with 2 jelly? Not within 0.9 hours. Otherwise we could have. Well, no, maybe I could try. I want him to get the meat first, but he's kind of refusing. Yeah, he's kind of refusing. I'm not gonna bother. More effort than it's worth. So in order to get running water, let's set up a regular water well. And you have to be careful where you set up these water wells. They can't be in polluted areas or you will absolutely get very deaded. So set up a water well here. Plumbing. And then we're also going to want a water tower. And a wind pump. And then inside, eventually maybe a kitchen sink. That's the dream, some running water. A kitchen sink will help to facilitate thirst and a little bit of hygiene. And then tonight, I'm going to make another run for insect jelly. The reason I'm picking a kitchen sink over a water fountain is kitchen sink is a cleaning object, so it helps to have the area inside cleaner, which benefits research. Remember the dead fox? It is alive. The fox survived. It'd be really easy to gank, though, because it's blood lost. So maybe I'll go kill it. as soon as I get a little bit more water. What you doing over here, dude? Chewing yourself? Sorry, little fennec fox, but I'm hungry. And then the other only wildlife here is the iguana. Wasn't personal. Just survival. There's also another advantage of clearing out the animals in the biome. Is in RimWorld, there's an attempt to keep the biome stocked with this roughly the same amount of like animals. So if you kill all the animals, you're more likely to get more animals. So killing them as soon as they show up, there is a bit of a benefit. However, I don't mind insect jelly. In fact, I'm coming over here and mining the compacted machinery, waiting for another thing of insect jelly to spawn. These bugs aren't going to wake up for a while. So I might as well have this trip be a twofer. Look at his eye. Yeah, of course he's a tough guy. Come on, jelly. You know you want to spawn for me. If it doesn't, oh well. I got a meal, some jelly, and some components. Yeah, it's not spawning, it's fine. I know the moment I walk away, it's going to be like, bloop, there's the jelly. But the bugs are about to wake up, so it's no place to be when those guys awake. Okay, I didn't miss out on it. Obviously, there's no jelly there. I should have slept inside, but I do need myself a new bed, though. I'll be building that soon. As long as I'm not getting heat stroke, sleeping outside, there's no harm. We have rough living and temperature tough. Alright, Shiv, back to work, buddy. We're sort of on a nocturnal schedule now, just because of all the jelly theft. I also might want to hunt the iguana before this meat spoils, because if the iguana yields some number of meat that allows me to make an extra meal out of that stack, that would be nice. So let's go gank an iguana. Little toe nibbler it is. And again, I'm going to steal some jelly. It keeps the bugs weak and me strong. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, it didn't help. It's not going to allow for a new meal, but whatever. At least we have more meat. That's not what I told you to do. I like how the kitchen sink has its plumbing clogged. It's never had running water in it. It just, you know, is clogged. Randy, come on, man. Quit it. It's ridiculous. It's clogged with air. Yeah, like an air embolism for a sink. I don't know why I bothered coming over here. We actually don't have junk desire, but whatever. He needs some sort of friend. That's his Wilson. And our first raid. Criv's Wolves coming nearby. Nona with a bio-coded auto pistol. Alright, let's see if I can't lure Nona, none of my business, over to the bugs. Oh, it's a genie? Oh, that's going to be easy. Never mind. I'm just going to gank her. She's a wimp. Hey! You're downed. And your gear is mine now. You should have thought this over a little better. I absolutely don't have the capacity to care for another human being at the moment, so there's no consideration for Nana's life. She's a corpse. But I'm clothed. Thanks, Nana. Oh, look at your smile, you little slaughterer. You definitely did not live up to your moniker there. I like how I can't even plumb it because there's no water capacity. It's like, it got clogged, but you can't fix it because... Yep. A genie slaughterer, I know, right? It's very strange. This planet is quite backwards. Aw, she shot me in the eye, though? Lady. That's awful. Randy is just a menace tonight. Or today. Randy, you the worst. Stupid permanent scar. I have a nice eye patch now? Actually, I don't. I'm not missing the eye. It's just, injured. Do I have recreation needs? Yes. So here is the running water that we wanted. And then next up, I might add one more wind turbine. Just so that we have a little bit more guaranteed power. In fact, 3 turbines would be ideal. That way, we definitely keep on the air kick, the ancient cooler. No matter what. Some pipes are missing. So if we look at hygiene here, I beg to differ. No pipes are missing. All Alright, we definitely don't need this bio-coated weapon hauled anywhere. So let's continue getting components and steel for the wind turbines, and I'll update the priority. Hey, Double Dwarf, thank you for the resub. Cheers. And Steph, thank you both. So the reason I'm adding to the wind turbines right now is in the case of a heat wave or something that produces a lot of heat, I will still be able to keep the base pretty chilled, which is very, very, very useful. Although Nana did give me a duster, so my temperature tolerance is up there. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better. Hey bud, this is yours. Peanut for the Yoda. How was Yoda? Yoda's good. Yoda's almost always good. He's very reliable. Yep, so here's minimum wind, where I lose everything, except for the light. But with 3 turbines at minimum it's 92 watts each, and the ancient cooler needs 200. So, you know, 276 is greater than 200. Allows me to keep the cooler on. Next step. Next priority is build a research bench. But I want to do this with stone. I want to stop relying so heavily on steel, because there is a finite amount of steel and a lot more stone. So I'm going to get the stone cutter now. Yoda doing the minimum amount of work to spin and get peanut. Yeah, he's a lazy boy. He's old. Might be a good time to steal some jelly. 26? Yeah, that's worth the trip. I'll just have to periodically remember to grab their stuff. Because I don't have a way of making my own food yet, so stocking up on their jelly is nice. Really? Back to sleep? Late riser, I guess. Cheers. Another thing I want to do is to set up some security as well, so that future Nunnas... Oh, did Nunna get eaten? I think Nunna got eaten. Oh, there's a new bowl. But it's a healthy one. I'm not about to jump into that fight. Does jelly rot or does it last forever? Indoors, it lasts forever. Outdoors, it will rot. It decays like wood does. Not needing refrigeration, but it does deteriorate outdoors. IO Lobot, thank you for the resub. Not feeling bullish about my chances? It's just not a risk needing taking. If I had a firearm, I'd take it, but I don't have one of those yet. And of course, the only raider that had a firearm, it happens to be bio-coded. Thanks, Randy, again. Randy going hard on this one. He's like, oh, well. You think you're ready? You're not. Alright, so that's the last meal that I had. So now we're going to be relying on insect jellies. until I get hydroponics up or I hunt something. And Rick, thank you for the resub. The only thing positive that Randy did is not instantly killing Nana. Actually, no, because we're a scrapper, so tainted and tattered apparel we don't care about, so that wasn't even a kindness. You'd think, but no. Tainted apparel makes no difference to Shiv. So even when Randy seems to be nice, no. Of course, right? That's just the way it is. Thank you for tuning in to The Castaway, which originally streamed live on Twitch March 18th and March 19th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow castaways,